Hello everyone, time for another video. This video is about the concept of altered histories, such as the one depicted in the Next Generation episode Yesterday's Enterprise. For those who don't know the story, the Enterprise D crew are investigating a temporal anomaly when they encounter the Enterprise C, which passed through the anomaly 22 years earlier, before they were able to fulfill their destiny by saving a Klingon outpost from the Romulans. This ended up creating a new timeline in which, when the Enterprise C reappears, the Federation is 6 months from defeat in a 20-year war with the Klingons. Old Picard eventually decides to send the old Enterprise back in order to try and defend the colony long enough to prevent the war from starting, thus restoring the timeline. Spoiler alert, they do, sort of. And then there's Star Trek Picard. In his video Everything We Know About Star Trek Picard Season 2, Ben stated that the second season might be set in an altered version of history. But what if Season 1 was the altered version? It would certainly explain the regular shots of Discovery-style ships, including the hologram of the Discovery version of the original series Enterprise, seen when Picard visited Starfleet HQ. Perhaps the return of Q is part of the effort to try and put everything right, although why 7 of 9 is shown without her facial implant is anyone's guess. I suppose we'll find out when the episodes are shown early next year. While on the subject of Star Trek Discovery, or Skyway Dysentery, as I've come to think of it, CBS still insists it is set in the same reality as the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager and Enterprise, despite all the visual interest of the controversy, especially in Season 1. You only have to look at it to realise that, for it to make any kind of sense, the Discoverse is clearly a version of the Kelvin universe where George Kirk survived the Narada incident, possibly by destroying the other ship. Don't ask how, I'm a sci-fi fan, not a tactician. But what of other franchises? Well, according to rumours, the Star Wars sequel trilogy is set to be reclassified as being set in an alternate timeline, with the films themselves downgraded to legend, i.e. non-canon status. Good luck with that, Disney and Lucasfilm. Paramount tried that with Star Trek V The Final Frontier, and we know how that went. And then we have unwritten altered history stories. In my attitudes towards telepathy video, I stated that following the disbandment of Psycho in the Babylon 5 universe, human telepaths gradually became more integrated into society and gained more freedoms, including the right to join Earthforce. I subsequently said that, in my opinion, they should have been allowed to do this right from the start, which could have seriously altered the whole history of the Babylon 5 universe. For example, if telepaths had already been allowed to enlist in Earthforce, a telepath could have been serving as a bridge officer on the Prometheus when it led the ships that made first contact with the Minbari. If so, the telepathic officer could have realised the true significance of the open gun port and persuaded the captain to establish communications instead of opening fire. This would have prevented the Earth-Minbari war, but the near-miss would have persuaded both sides of the importance of establishing and maintaining peaceful relations between species, thus giving rise to the Babylon stations. As a senior Earth Force officer with a Jesuit education, Jeffrey Sinclair would be a natural choice for membership of the negotiating team, in view of the importance of religion to the Minbari. Over time, each side would share details about their culture and history with the other, eventually resulting in Sinclair being invited to a private meeting. This would place him in close proximity to the Trilumere, the most sacred relic in Minbari society, and thus allowing his connection to Valen to be identified by the Minbari leadership. They would likely want to keep this fact a closely guarded secret by them, leading them to render Sinclair unconscious before using a telepath to wipe the knowledge from his memories. He would then be awoken from a coma, which was induced for his own protection, thereby leaving Sinclair with the same memory gap that he had in the original timeline. With the exception of the plot lines about the Minbari hating Sheridan for destroying their flagship, which now never takes place, the new history could, more or less, follow the original with modifications. What do you think? Are these kind of stories a good idea, or do you find them too confusing? Do you have any ideas for future videos? If you enjoy this video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Feel free to like and share. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll be back soon with another video.